with the exception of Mahatma Gandhi Institute. They highlighted the following. First, the lack of consultation of the previous minister prior to taking this major decision. Two, the absence of pedagogical rationale behind converting the academies into mixed schools as from grade 10. Three, the adaptation and school culture issues for students transiting from regional single-gender schools from grade 7 to 9 to mixed school in grade 10. Four, the numerous discipline-related issues which emerged in these academies after their transition to mixed-gender status. Fifth, the drop in the relative academic performance of students in the academies. Madam Speaker, my ministry is carrying on a nationwide consultation exercise from 8th December 2025 to 20th January 2026 to gauge public views on the issue of mixity and mode of admission in secondary schools. I seize this opportunity to invite everyone who wishes to contribute their views on mixity and the two options. Technicians of my ministry will be meeting with stakeholders, and there will be an online survey as well to gauge public opinion. Findings of the survey. Madam Speaker, we do not want to rush with the blueprint. We do not want to impose anything which may affect the children of our republic. We believe in consultations with all stakeholders, and we are here to listen to stakeholders, and their valuable views will be taken on board. Thank you.
Yes, Madam Sir.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Puis-je suggérer à l'honorable ministre que cette question d'abolir ou non la mixité devrait être discutée avec les parents et les étudiants pour obtenir leur réaction avant d'aller de l'avant, et aussi, si c'est possible, will the backbenchers be invited for consultations? Thank you.
Yes. Regarding parents and students, it will take place in January. Regarding students, the school prefect, the student council will be taken on board, and the PTA as well. That is, it will take part in January. Regarding backbenchers, you're most welcome. Even backbenchers of the opposition will be invited to share their views, at least. The opposition. He will pass on the message, DPM, to the others, I hope, so that they can contribute their views. And it will be online. If they want to have consultation with the technicians of the ministry, you're most welcome. You are invited for that. Thank you.
Minister, if I may, as chairperson of the Parliamentary Gender Caucus, I'm telling Madam Sabapati, we just discussed with the Chief Whip, we're going to take this issue on board also, because it is a very important issue concerning girls. It is concerning boys and girls. It's a very long debate. There has been a lot of research that has been done worldwide on this issue, so maybe we can do it also at our level. It's a very, very important issue. When you said something about, I don't remember, but are girls doing worse or doing better in co-ed schools? That's what we want to know.
No, I didn't pronounce on that. If you want, Madam Speaker, we noted in academies that in academies which were formerly girls' school, okay, when boys joined there, so far we didn't have any.
We
didn't have any laureates so far, but it is something which we are all excellent performance, but there has been discipline-related issues.
Laureate, c'est pas la fin du monde.
Discipline-related issues have been noted. We are going to discuss, and your valuable input is most welcome.
I went to girls' school. Next question. It's a very important issue. I'm sure everybody will want to talk about it. Yes, you don't have a question, Madam Sabapati, yeah? You've done. Okay, next question has been withdrawn. Mr. Ramdas, yes. The fourth member for Port-Louis North, Mr. Duval.
Yes. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm informed by the Mauritius Society for Animal Welfare that over the past 2 months, following the coming into operation of sections 31.1 and 31.3 of the Animal Welfare Act on 1st October 2025, 14,500 dogs have been registered, which is more than double of the number of dogs registered throughout the year 2024, which stood only at 6,417. I'm further informed that the estimated number of dogs that are unregistered as at date is between 250,000 and 300,000. However, the House should know that the last dog population survey was carried out in 2013 by the Humane Society International, but those statistics are not reliable anymore. In order to obtain an accurate and up-to-date estimate of the dog population, MSO is initiating a comprehensive dog population survey using drones, for which necessary clearances are being sought. This survey will provide detailed mapping of dog distribution in both urban and rural areas, identify dog packs, and estimate population densities across different regions. The information gathered through the registration process and the population survey will establish a reliable baseline for evidence-based policy making, the planning of dog control measures, and strategic intervention, including the prioritization of shelter development. It will also reinforce efforts to effectively manage stray dog population and support targeted public awareness campaigns on responsible dog ownership. As regards Part B of the question, my ministry has initially identified land at 5 Ways, Berry, for the construction of an animal hospital and dog shelters. However, following the state visit of the Honorable Prime Minister to India from the 9th to the 16th September 2025, a grant of 2 billion rupees was secured from the Government of India for the development of a veterinary school and an animal hospital. Consequently, the site at 5 Ways has been repurposed for the implementation of the project. In parallel, the Ministry of Housing and Land has also been requested to identify alternative and suitable plots of land within its jurisdiction for the establishment of dog shelters on a region-wide basis. The site to be identified should, inter alia, meet the following criteria: availability of essential utilities, namely water and electricity, accessibility to public transport with a maximum walking distance of 400 meters from the shelter and a minimum setback of 500 meters from any residential area.
Yes?
Can I ask the Minister, first of all, only 5% of dogs have been registered despite the panic that was created with the abrupt fines. We've spoken about that last time in the House. So the campaign is not bearing the fruits that the Minister thought it would. May I ask the Minister, on the animal shelters, are we to understand how many shelters will be built by government and operated?
Madam Speaker, I won't comment on the figment of imagination of the honourable member, but let me impress upon him that we are doing our level best despite the resources which we have. And I have to congratulate our friends from MSO who are delivering. Now, in relation to shelters identified, I've stated very clearly that the Ministry of Land and Housing is identifying the site. And we're working very closely, with the Ministry of Land and Housing. As matters stand, there are 6 sites free. As matters stand, there are 6 existing sites, 3 which belong to the private sector and 3 which belong to MSO. Having said so, Madam Speaker, we're putting our best endeavor to make sure that things happen. And things are happening in a positive way. I would have expected our friend to appreciate. I don't want to compare like with like, but he should have known what happened under the previous regime.
May I ask the Minister?
Question, not...
Yes, question. 20 were promised, now we're talking about 6. May I ask the Honourable Minister, with regards to the registration again? The fees, which was a disaster, has been brought down from 500 rupees to 350 rupees. The fact that there was only one registration centre is now being devolved around the island, which should have been done at the outset. All of that, Madam Speaker, therefore equates...
You're not listening to whatever I said before.
Will the Minister...
What's your question?
Will the Minister agree that the disastrous start of his campaign has led to these disastrous figures of 5% after 2 months of having panicked the island, people taking
You're
their
still
dogs
putting
on
a
public
question?
transport?
That
The
long
question has been
question?
put, yes. Madam Speaker, the other members have been making statements, and you did not stop
I
them.
don't see the others.
You do not
Are
see.
you again?
do not see. I think that is...
Are you once more saying that I only see one side? Or you once more criticizing me?
If I may, Madam Speaker, you said you did not see. I am merely
If
repeating
I
what you said.
don't see, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, please, let me deal with this. If I do not see and I do not hear what I want you to say now in this House, are you saying that I'm not independent?
Madam Speaker, you said you did not see. I repeated that indeed you did not see. You said it. Sit down,
Minister, do you want to reply?
Madam Speaker, the honourable members are losing consent and he deserves to be treated with contempt.
I know. I have not up to now done any case of contempt. Attorney General is not here, including members of the press. I'm being patient. I said I would be independent. If people don't like the way I do it, I can't do anything about it. But I don't want to tolerate anybody doing loads of explanations. I can understand you have to do a little bit, but not that much. So try and control yourself.
May I, Madam, since it's directed at me?
No, you cannot question my ruling and what I said.
You said that the last time if I had an issue
Yeah, you're sitting. You are talking in a sitting position. So was Ms. Sabapati earlier on, and I told her, but you didn't hear me.
Madam Speaker, may I, since we asked last time to raise issues while they do arise. Madam Speaker, my point being that other members do make long statements. My statement was necessary, in my opinion, to give the certain...
Don't go on like that. I take a point of order. Sit down.
I honestly, Deputy Prime Minister, I am convinced that the honourable member understands exactly what is going on, and he is cultivating this way. If you on this side, you start getting into that game, it'll never end. Let me deal with it. You better keep quiet for the moment. You've asked a question, the Minister has replied. You've replied to the last question? So that's it.
I want to take a point of
Okay.
We don't object to him introducing a supplementary question, but he makes it a point to use provocative, insulting words every time he starts with a supplementary question. You should rule that out.
I don't want you to speak from a sitting position. This is the third time I'm saying it. He's not the only one who does this, by the way. And this is the last sitting. This is the last, let me speak.
This he can say, you can treat me about the words, and you don't hear. And then you are sitting, if you're being one-sided, he can insult me like this,
So
and
you-
you will not interrupt.
and you keep
He will not
sitting.
intervene.
Both of you-
How can that be?
I'm going to raise the sitting. I've had it. I'm raising the sitting. You sort it out. J'attends que les messes basses soient terminées. You may be seated. I'm going to just call the next question. If anybody will speak from a sitting position, I will raise again. Dr. Tanu, please. Second
Thank you,
member
Madam
for
Speaker.
Coordinator. Yes.
Thank you. PQ 1210, please.
Madame la Présidente, la sécurité énergétique de l'approvisionnement en électricité demeure une priorité absolue pour ce gouvernement, au même titre que la promotion des énergies renouvelables. L'intégration d'installations solaires photovoltaïques constitue un élément essentiel de notre stratégie de décarbonation, visant à atteindre 60% d'énergie renouvelable d'ici 2035. Je suis informé, Madame la Présidente, que l'imposition d'un plafond de profit, d'un cap, sur les kits photovoltaïques nécessite une analyse détaillée du marché, de la qualité des kits photovoltaïques et surtout de l'efficience de ces appareils. Nous devons d'abord nous efforcer de mettre en place un système de standards qu'on n'a pas pour l'instant. Des installateurs photovoltaïques, parce qu'on en trouve un peu partout, on a pas mal de complaintes aussi, et d'établir des normes minimales de performance énergétique pour ces kits qu'on n'a pas pour l'instant. Il est essentiel que ces normes soient pleinement conformes aux spécifications techniques internationales afin de maintenir des standards de qualité élevés et de préserver la stabilité, surtout la stabilité de nos réseaux, de notre réseau électrique. Parce que des petits consommateurs ici et là rentrent sur notre réseau et ressortent sur notre réseau, cela crée de l'instabilité sur le réseau. À cette fin, je peux dire que j'ai mis en place un comité composé du personnel de mon ministère, du ministère de Commerce, du CEB, de l'IMO, l'Agence de Mauricienne de l'énergie renouvelable, de la Marina, de la gestion de l'efficacité énergétique, afin d'étudier la possibilité pour un plafond de profit, comme précisé dans la question de l'honorable membre, sur les kits photovoltaïques, dans le but d'encourager l'investissement dans ce secteur et de réduire la dépendance au réseau électrique national. Je voudrais préciser que personnellement, je n'ai pas d'opinion arrêtée sur la question en ce qui concerne un plafond ou libéraliser le marché. Mais, Madame la Présidente, avec votre permission, je souhaite informer la Chambre que j'ai l'intention prochainement de demander au cabinet la permission de présenter un projet de loi dédié aux énergies renouvelables. Il est grand temps, à mon avis, Madame la Présidente, de mettre de l'ordre dans ce secteur. On l'a fait de façon amateur jusqu'ici, ici et là, essayant pick and choose, dans ce secteur. De plus, il y a eu des retards accumulés qui nous met dans cette situation où on est aujourd'hui, et nous avons aussi, il faut bien le préciser, sur beaucoup de toits, un vrai bazar. Je crois profondément au développement des énergies renouvelables et nos objectifs, comme je l'ai dit un peu plus tôt, de 60%, mais ce développement doit se faire dans la discipline, selon un cadre approprié et transparent. Nous le voyons chaque jour, sur les réseaux circulent des publicités encourageant le public à s'équiper en kit solaire, alors même que certaines installations se font actuellement, se font sans passer ni par le CEB, ni par les autorités compétentes. On a déjà la Marina, on a IMO, qui est pour l'efficience énergétique, mais nous ne savons pas combien de kits est installé, combien de batteries est installé, est-ce qu'ils sont connectés au réseau. c'est un peu les désordres. Il existe même des maisons, c'est bien de le dire, produisant leur propre électricité, stockant leur propre énergie dans des batteries hors de tout contrôle du système du CEB. Donc, ce n'est pas soutenable. Cela peut causer, on me l'a dit et je l'ai confirmé aussi, cela peut composer des dysfonctionnements sur le réseau, mettant en danger la vie de certaines personnes. C'est pourquoi il est indispensable de venir encadrer clairement les Home Solar Projects, comme on dit dans le jargon, l'agri-solar et les autres, ainsi que l'ensemble des initiatives du secteur privé. Voilà.
Yes, Ms. Dunham, you have a question?
Thank you. Are we going to have a study about to what extent people are endangered when they're putting solar kits in their homes? Because at the end of the day, they are being self-reliant. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I think people are very much worried about the safety, but they know that by investing in solar kits, they're doing their utmost to save energy and promote renewable energy. So there's a lot of lack of clarity about it at the moment. Thank you.
Je pense que l'honorable membre a raison. Certaines personnes manquent d'informations. Nous poussons vers l'énergie renouvelable, nous voulons l'efficience énergétique, mais l'encadrement n'est pas là, le cadre légal n'est pas là. Bien souvent, les gens du CEB ont à intervenir sur des maisons et à ce moment-là qu'ils apprennent qu'il y a un solar kit sur la maison, cette maison est équipée de batteries. Je pense que le projet de loi qu'on amènera bientôt et le comité que j'ai mis en place pour voir si on peut, à ce moment-là, on pourra décider si on peut contrôler les profits. Mais d'abord, il faudra que les standards soient sur place, que les installateurs sont formés, que liquident selon les standards internationaux. Donc, à ce moment-là, on pourra aller dans cette direction.
OK. Monsieur Bichouk?
Oui, merci Madame la Présidente. Est-ce que l'honorable ministre, dans le cadre de ce projet de loi, pourrait nous confirmer à la Chambre s'il y a la possibilité pour que son ministère mette en place un système de recyclage de ces batteries qui accompagnent les solar kits utilisés en ce moment, qui sont très toxiques. Voilà.
Je veux dire que la Marina et l'IMO travaillent sur ce projet. Disons que les batteries que nous avons mis en place jusqu'ici, ce sont des batteries de 10 ans, de 12 ans. Ce sont des batteries qui ne sont pas arrivées à la fin de leur cycle, pour l'instant. C'est sûr que ce problème, au fil des années, si nous arrivons à avoir 60% d'énergie renouvelable et que les maisons sont équipées de ces batteries-là, éventuellement, cela causera un problème dans le temps. Mais je pense que les institutions de mon ministère, que ce soit Marina ou l'IMO, travaillent sur ce schéma, parce que nous avons des projets dans le temps que nous avons mis en place, les frigidaires à la casse. On voulait, pour l'efficience énergétique, faire changer les frigidaires de la majeure partie des personnes, parce que les frigidaires consomment énormément d'énergie. Mais c'est sûr que le souci de recyclage des batteries va être aussi dans le mandat de la Marina et de l'IMO.
Monsieur Roukni?
Madam Speaker, could the Minister advise the House if he intends to require off-grid users that have nothing to do with the CEB, that are not even connected to the grid, to be also regulated by authorities under his ministry?
Oui, impérativement. Parce que le danger est où? Le danger, c'est que si nous n'avons pas un data spécifique de qui sont ceux qui ont une batterie à la maison, mais demain, l'ingénieur du CEB est sur la ligne, travaille sur la ligne que soi-disant la ligne est off. Et l'énergie chez un particulier peut retourner sur la ligne, créer un danger. Donc, les travailleurs et l'utilisateur peuvent être en danger à tout moment. Donc, le projet de loi, on va essayer, qu'on discutera dans la Chambre ici, va essayer de brasser assez large. Je peux dire que en Inde, en Allemagne, au Portugal, en Espagne, nous avons déjà des projets de loi de ce genre. Par exemple, en France, il y a la loi APER, qui effectivement englobe un petit peu la batterie, le standard, les installateurs, et le prix, le profit, et un peu tout ça. Donc, nous travaillons dans cette direction.
Yes, okay. Very interesting. Especially people must understand what's going on, because it's not very easy to understand, right? The Honourable Second Member for Savane Black River, Mr. Jagana.
Madam Speaker, please.
B1211.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I wish to inform the House that building and land use permit, in short BLP, are in three categories, namely BLP 1, which relates to residential developments, BLP 2 concerns the accession of land, including the sales or donation of a lot and the subdivision of land among heirs, and BLP 3 pertains to economic activities, micro and small enterprises, residential developments as from ground plus 4 level, and places of public worship, among others. As regard to Part A, sub-question 1 and subsection 2 of the question, the information is being tabled. With regard to Part B of the question, I will inform the House that in accordance with Section 127A, subsection 5A of the Local Government Act 2011, as subsequently amended, a fixed penalty fees of 50,000 rupees is levied on an applicant when a building and land use permit application is approved following the issuance of a compliance notice by a local authority. In the context of the local government reform, the fine of 50,000 rupees will be reviewed. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, next question first.
Madam Speaker, whether the Minister is aware, in many cases, that that takes years for a BLUP1 to delay that comes together with LDA and whatsoever, which is not needy. Can the Minister inform the House whether he will take action?
Yes, Minister.
Madam Speaker, I want to inform the House that the following stakeholders do not access to the NELS. That is the Traffic Management Road Safety Unit, the RDA, Irrigation Authority, LDA, Forestry Services. So when all these institutions will be on NELS, it will be much easier to have it approved, but it's all dependent.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, if the Minister can inform the House what is the gap of time for Land Drainage Authority, even for Forestry, and for water resources to reply.
Madam Speaker, it all depends on the ministry's staff, but I think they have the lapse of 2 weeks. They have to reply before it is being approved.
Okay. That's satisfactory. One moment. Somebody else asked. No? No? Okay, Mr. Bichuk. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Thank you, Madam. I would like to ask the Minister whether he is satisfied with the very blanket decision which is applied by the LDA of either to approve or to not to approve a construction. Is he satisfied with this approach, or does he intend to request the engineers of the LDA to provide alternative solutions to BLUPs?
It has been answered last.
Madam Speaker, I will have to find these answers with LDA, where I can give a prompt answers to the Honourable Minister, because I don't have it
Il va se renseigner.
right now.
D'accord. OK. On est d'accord avec ça. On continue. Alors, OK. Mr. Ramdas, yes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1212. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the Ferney-Plaisance Link Road, also known as the Southeastern Highway A15, is an existing road of approximately 6.2 kilometers, constructed in 2005 to engineering standards. It links the Plaine-Maillan-Maillebourg A12 road at Plaine-Maillan the Sangolet B7 road at Grand Bel-Air and the Flac-Maillebourg D28 road at Rivière-des-Créoles. I'm informed by the Road Development Authority that street lighting has been provided at the roundabouts at Grand Bel-Air and Rivière-des-Créoles. However, no street lighting has been installed at the Solitude roundabout at Plaine-Maillan, which is near the airport, as recommended by the Department of Civil Aviation. Madam Speaker, as I have explained in my previous reply to PQB 196 on 18 March 2025, the provision and maintenance of street lighting along existing roads fall under the responsibility of the local authorities. The RDA provides street lighting only along new road projects and hands over the facilities to the relevant local authority upon completion. In this connection, the District Council of Grand Port has informed that it has no objection to the implementation of street lighting along the Ferney-Plaisance Link Road, subject to the availability of funds and after obtaining the views of the Department of Civil Aviation regarding the permissible height of lighting poles.
Yes, you're all right. Next question, Dr. Prayag.
Thank you,
First
Madam
member.
Speaker. B 1213, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm informed of the beach authority, but Mill Beach, of an extent of 2.13 hectares and a sea frontage of 350 meters, was proclaimed in November 1990 as Roche Noire Public Beach. There is currently no toilet block due to the topography of the site and the high water table. Madam Speaker, the lagoon of Roche Noire is classified as a dangerous bathing area and is considered unsafe for recreational swimming. And there are 2 dangerous bathing warning signage on the beach. With regard to amenities, same are being considered and implementation will depend on the viability of funds. Madam Speaker, as regards Memoir Beach, I wish to inform the House that the beach was proclaimed as Post-Lafayette Near Memorial Public Beach in January 1991 and is on an extent 7.740 hectares with a sea frontage of 620 meters. There is an existing toilet block which is fully operational. It is to be noted that the lagoon thereat is also classified as a dangerous area for recreational swimming. There is a dangerous bathing warning signage at the said beach. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the beach authority is presently working on a beach management plan for the Post-Lafayette Public Beach. The preparation of the master plan is being finalized and provision will be made for amenities. MPs of the constituency will be informed of the plans before it is prepared.
Yes, Dr. Prayag, you're okay? Now, I have 2 questions withdrawn. 1214, 1215. So we go to Honourable 4th Member for Rodrigue, Mr. Edouard.
Madam Speaker, P1216.
Yes,
Madam
Minister.
Speaker,
Yeah?
I'm informed that elements of comprehensive sexuality education, CSE, are already embedded within the primary and secondary curriculum frameworks in both Mauritius and Rodrigues. Mauritius is also signatory to the Eastern and Southern Africa Commitment, which reaffirms our obligation to provide comprehensive sexuality education to adolescents and young people. At the primary level, components of sexuality education are integrated into the health and physical education syllabus for grades 5 and 6, with further aspects covered under life skills education. These initiatives aim at promoting balanced development, healthy attitudes, and responsible citizenship among pupils. At the secondary school level, a program on social and emotional well-being, also referred to as Éducation à l'affectivité et à la sexualité, is being implemented since 2018 for grade 7 and has subsequently been extended to grades 8 and 9. The program addresses themes such as identity, body image, gender roles, sexual development, reproductive health, relationships, and intimacy. I am also being informed that since 2017, more than 500 educators have been trained by SEDEC for the effective delivery of EAS program. Training for educators of secondary schools is an ongoing process. To support effective classroom implementation, pedagogical materials such as teacher manuals and student manuals, Mystère à la vie, have been made available for grade 7 and grade 8 since 2019. I wish to reassure the honourable member that the same curriculum and support materials applicable in mainland Mauritius also extended to Rodrigues, and implementation follows the same structure at both primary and secondary schools. Madam Speaker, there is no shortage of dedicated staff as CSE is delivered across the curriculum rather than by a single specialized cadre. Educators teaching health and physical education, biology, integrated science, life skills, and related subjects already cover components of sexuality education. As I have already stated, continuous training is being provided to educators, and my ministry is addressing any gap through capacity building initiatives, refresher sessions, and the inclusion of CSE content in pre-service teacher training to ensure the availability of trained personnel. Madam Speaker, my ministry remains firmly committed to strengthening comprehensive sexuality education in all schools in the Republic of Mauritius, in line with our national and international commitments. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, Mr. Edouard.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House how many among these 500 teachers have been trained are from Rodrigues?
I don't have that exact figure, how many are for Rodrigues. I may give you the figure afterwards.
From or for? From?
Out of the 500, he wants how many are for
From Rodrigues, yes. Okay. Next question, Mr. Lekiram, yes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1217, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank the honourable member for this question, which, thanks to him, has had a very happy outcome. Why? I wish to inform the House that, as in previous years, my ministry has proceeded with the award of the 24 additional scholarships to eligible candidates of the Cambridge Higher School Certificate Examinations 2024, based on both academic merit and social criteria. Under the scheme, 16 scholarships are awarded to students who meet the academic criteria and whose total monthly parental income does not exceed 30,000 rupees in the aggregate. And 8 scholarships are awarded to students who meet the academic criteria and whose total monthly parental income does not exceed 18,500 rupees in the aggregate. Madam Speaker, regarding part A of the question, the publication of the list of beneficiaries has been made public today. A press communique has already been issued in that sense. With regard to part B of the question, the allocation and disbursement of bursaries will follow immediately after the publication of the beneficiaries of the scholarships. Madam Speaker, allow me, on behalf of everyone present here, to congratulate all those 24 scholarship winners, their families, their teachers, and their schools. Well done to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. I was listening. Mr. Lekiram, you have, okay? You're okay? Right. Now I have the Honourable First Member for Saban.
B1218, thank you.
Not forgetting you now.
Madam Speaker, I am informed that there is presently no market in operation within the administrative area of the Black River District Council. A plot of land has already been identified at Bamboo near Winners and vested into the District Council of Black River in July 2024. The preliminary design has been finalized and a quantity surveyor will be appointed to prepare the preliminary cost estimate. In this financial year, an amount of 1 million rupees has been earmarked for payment of consultancy fees. Madam Speaker, with regard to Part B, subsection 2 of the question, I have already instructed the District Council of Black River to issue an expression of interest to invite proposal for the setting up of a temporary market fair pending the construction of the market fair by the Council. I also wish to highlight that in the past, Medellin had tried to operate a market fair for vegetables, but had to close down due to low customer turnout and poor accessibility, as the site was located far from the main road. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Babaji.
May I know from the Honourable Minister as to an estimated time for when the market will be operated, fully operated?
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the Honourable Member that the proposed market fair at Bamboo, the Council will have to invite bids on design and build basis by April 2026. And the contract for the construction works will be awarded by July 2026. And the work may be completed by October 2027.
Thank you. Yes. Honourable Second Member for Quartier Militaire. No? Am I wrong, Dr. Prayag? I think you withdrew your question. Dr. Prayag, you withdrew your question. Yes. So now it's Honourable Second Member. One question was transferred.
Yes.
So now you come with?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. PQ 1221, please.
That's it. Rainwater.
Yes, merci Madame la Présidente. Je souhaite informer l'Assemblée que presque chaque année, durant la saison difficile, le pays est confronté à une crise d'eau qui affecte gravement nos ressources hydriques. Par conséquent, afin de gérer judicieusement nos ressources, il est nécessaire de mettre en œuvre des mesures de conservation de l'eau à tous les niveaux, et notamment d'impliquer la population. Madame la Présidente, afin de mobiliser davantage d'eau et d'encourager la collecte d'eau de pluie, un budget de 25 millions de roupies a été prévu dans le budget 2025-2026. Les ménages dont le revenu mensuel est inférieur à 60 000 roupies peuvent bénéficier d'une subvention de 10 000 roupies pour l'installation d'un système de collecte des eaux de pluie, donc Rainwater Harvesting, le scheme. Hein. Par ailleurs, le budget prévoit aussi la mise en œuvre d'un programme de collecte des eaux destiné aux écoles maternelles, aux écoles spécialisées, aux établissements d'hébergement pour personnes âgées, aux centres communautaires, aux associations de femmes, aux ONG et aux centres de loisirs. Par ailleurs, mon ministère a adressé une circulaire à tous les ministères et organismes publics, les invitant à envisager des mesures de conservation de l'eau afin de garantir la sécurité d'approvisionnement en eau de ces instances gouvernementales et du grand public. Madame la Présidente, nous avons déjà au sein du ministère un comité technique composé des fonctionnaires de mon ministère, du ministère de l'Environnement et de la CWA, de Statistiques Mauritius, de la DBM. Et ce comité qui a été mis en place pour examiner ce Rainwater Harvesting Scheme, donc nous allons inclure aussi le ministère de Commerce pour pouvoir non, je parlais, c'était très sérieusement, Madame la Présidente.
C'est pas du tout vous, Monsieur le Ministre, c'est juste mon téléphone qui fait des siennes.
Mais vous savez qu'on est obligé d'éteindre son téléphone.
Vous avez parfaitement raison. Mon téléphone m'a dépassé complètement.
Je peux.
Allez-y.
Merci. C'est pas évident de garder son sérieux dans des circonstances pareilles. Madame la Présidente, en ce qui concerne la partie A de la question, je souhaite informer la Chambre que mon ministère, en ce qui concerne la question de l'honorable membre concernant le cap sur les profits en plafond, nous allons tenir des réunions. Hein. On a décidé qu'on tiendra des réunions avec le ministère du Commerce en ce qui concerne le plafond de profit et concernant le système de récupération de le pluie. Mais je dois préciser encore une fois, c'est une question qui demande beaucoup de réflexion, de discussion quand même. Et c'est policy decision, c'est une question en termes de contrôle des prix ou la libération de certaines commodités. Donc, il faudra engager des discussions au sein du gouvernement, surtout avec mon collègue, le ministre de la Sécurité sociale, que là, au cabinet, on va en discuter, c'est sûr. Concernant la partie B de la question, les institutions gouvernementales ont été invitées à mettre en œuvre la récupération de pluie, étant ce dispositif à l'ensemble des institutions gouvernementales, malheureusement, nécessiterait un financement important, actuellement indisponible, et pourrait être envisagé dès que la situation financière le permettra.
Je suis vraiment désolée, Monsieur le ministre. C'était des petits-enfants qui chantaient « We are the world ». Bon, allez, on continue le travail. C'est bien quelquefois un petit rire comme ça. Alors, Madame Tanou, you want to, another question?
Yes, please. May we include primary schools and secondary schools within the scheme, please?
Je crois que dans ma réponse, éventuellement, j'ai parlé des établissements scolaires. Je l'ai dit, je le crois. Oui, mais si c'est nécessaire d'élargir ce panoplie d'autres secteurs, on est disposé à le faire.
Très bien, merci. Next question, Dr. Bryan, please.
B 1222. Merci.
Madam Speaker, I wish to refer the Honourable Member to my reply made to Parliamentary Question B/559 at the sitting of the House on 17th June 2025. As I previously stated at this August Assembly, the proposal to introduce insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitor devices was neither recommended by a team of technical experts nor by Professor D. Owens, eminent diabetologist from United Kingdom. Regarding the alternative modes of financing and support from them government organizations, the question does arise.
Yes, Dr.
Thank you,
Bryan.
Honorable Minister. But instead of considering continuous glucose monitor together with insulin pumps, maybe the ministry could come up with a policy just to consider the continuous glucose monitor and then afterwards check for the feasibility of the second piece and not consider both together.
Madam Speaker, well, I am not a professional in that field, but the team of doctors that I have in my ministry, as well as Professor Owens, they have openly declared that this is not feasible, we should not go ahead with this. And at the same time, I would like to draw the attention of the Honourable Member that the insulin pump, it is a device which is attached to the body of the patient on a 24-hour basis and tracks the glucose level in the real time. The proposal to introduce insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitoring system was made by the former government without proper consultation with the technical staff of the ministry. And I am also advised the lack of personnel to support the insulin pump use and continuous glucose monitoring who will monitor the use by children who are type 1 diabetics in schools, lack of support to cater for emergencies arising from faulty insulin pumps, high costs involved as the insulin pump has several costs associated to it. Moreover, insulin pump has to be replaced on average after 4 years of use, and they provide a modest reduction in HbA1c blood tests conducted for evaluating blood sugar levels. So because of all these reasons, I have been strongly advised by the officials of my ministry, the doctors, not to go ahead with this.
All right. Yes, Dr. Bryan.
I wish to thank the Honourable Minister for the answer, but again I'm saying maybe it's better to try different avenues where NGOs who cater for type 1 diabetics patients, and we don't have to consider insulin pumps at the moment, given that your ministry has deemed that it is expensive, even though you can have cheaper ones, good quality ones in other countries. Maybe if we explore avenues with NGOs who have well-trained staff to just start with the continuous glucose monitor for these 1,000 children young suffering from type 1 diabetes.
It's not a question of financial help and all this. It's clear that the ministry doesn't want to go ahead unless and until the team of doctors in my ministry are agreeable to the request that is being made by the honorable member.
All right, we'll just have to wait, Doctor. Okay. Honorable Second Member for Belrose, yes.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. 12-23.
Madam Speaker, as regards Part A of the question, I am informed that the Beach Tombeau Child Daycare Center, operational since 2006 and managed by the National Children's Council, has 19 babies, 9 boys and 10 girls, between the ages of 14 weeks to 3 years, presently enrolled. The Beach Tombeau CDCC has 11 staff members employed thereat, comprising 1 acting officer in charge, 1 assistant child program officer, 7 qualified child caregivers, 1 nursery attendant, and 1 general worker. With regard to Part B of the question, I wish to reassure members of this Assembly that the Beach Tombeau Child Care Center is registered as per the Child Care Center Regulations 2022, made under Section 71 of the Children's Act 2020, and is therefore operating in compliance with the safety standards. This includes the infrastructure and the child-to-caregiver ratio.
Yes. Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Cette garderie accueille des familles vulnérables. La ministre peut-elle indiquer à la Chambre sur quels critères son ministère a confié le Child Daycare Center de résidence Florida à Baie-du-Tombeau à une ACPO responsable de gros fracas?
C'est quoi ACPO?
ACPO, c'est Assistant Child Program Officer. OK? La ministre l'a indiqué tout à l'heure, j'ai entendu.
Okay.
Alors, la ministre peut-elle indiquer à la Chambre sur quels critères son ministère a confié le Child Daycare Center de résidence Florida à Baie-du-Tombeau à une ACPO responsable de gros fracas dans plusieurs shelters, notamment La Colombe, l'Oasis, Notre-Dame et l'Oiseau du Paradis. Elle est connue pour son langage vulgaire, ses fausses allégations contre ses collègues et des officiers de police et la falsification du Occurrence Book. Merci.
Madame la Présidente, je ne suis pas au courant de ces faits, mais toujours est-il que la dame en question, dont l'honorable membre fait référence, a été choisie par la NCC pour prendre en charge le Daycare Center depuis quelques semaines déjà. Laissez-moi vous dire une chose. J'ai effectué au moins 2 visites à cette garderie. Une première visite le 30 septembre et une deuxième visite le 23 octobre, where I took note of some operational deficiencies and management gaps affecting the day-to-day running of the daycare center. Complaints received on this center were the following. The child daycare center was often still closed at 7:30 in the morning, and parents had to wait, whilst the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 7:30 to 17:15 hours, and Saturday from 7:30 to 12:30 hours. Parents were informed that the daycare center was closed on Saturday due to general cleaning, alors que la crèche, la garderie aurait dû être ouverte de telle heure à telle heure. Donc tel n'est pas le cas. Les parents sont informés, sont avisés de venir prendre les enfants, récupérer les enfants plus tôt. La crèche qui aurait dû être ouverte les samedis ne sont pas ouvertes les samedis. Donc il y a plusieurs
plusieurs deficiencies que j'ai notées moi-même. Par exemple, lorsque j'étais visiter la crèche, la cour était jonchée de feuilles mortes et d'immondices alors que le NCC payait un gardien à plein temps. Donc, tout ça a été noté, c'est pourquoi mon ministère, en collaboration avec le National Children's Council, a organisé 2 réunions. Une première réunion le 1er octobre et une deuxième réunion le 10 octobre. Ensuite, il y a une 3e réunion qui était présidée par le secrétaire du National Children's Council où certaines décisions ont été prises. Lors de la première réunion, je pense que c'était lors de la première réunion qu'il a été décidé que la dame en question prenne la charge de cette crèche. La dame est qualifiée, elle est détentrice d'un certificat de HSI, mais je ne suis pas au courant du tout des frasques dont parle Madame la députée. Si la députée est au courant qu'il y a de telles frasques, je pense que, étant donné qu'elle est membre du gouvernement, elle aurait pu venir me voir directement parce que ces accusations, ces frasques, comme elle le dit, pourraient mettre la vie de ces enfants-là en danger. Je pense qu'en tant que députée responsable, elle aurait dû venir vers moi, venir me voir, m'informer de la situation. Toujours est-il, Madame la Présidente, que je vais tenir bon de ces... Je vais tenir, je vais prendre en considération les allégations que la dame a faites, que Madame la députée a faites, et je vais bien sûr prendre les mesures appropriées pour le bien-être des enfants.
Order, Madam Speaker. Recently, you have ruled, and it's standing orders. A member cannot make allegations, accusations like we've just heard, without producing evidence. Therefore, can I ask you to rule that the honourable member should produce evidence about those accusations and allegations which she has made?
Yes, I think you should do that. Also, may I add, of course it's a subject I master, perhaps better than all of you. Maybe also I should add, tell us more about the National Children's Council itself. Yes, Madame.
Alors, je vous remercie. Avant de poser ma supplémentaire, je donne par rapport à la réflexion de la ministre. Alors, Madame,
vous répondez d'abord au point of order. There has been a point of order. I've asked you. I've already
écoutez, Madame, c'est dans les rapports de l'Ombudsperson for Children. Les rapports surtout, vous savez, l'Ombudsperson for Children, depuis des années, émet des rapports sur les shelters. Et c'est clair et net.
She cannot refer to all the reports from... Tell us what report, on what occasion.
Which one, which date, where? Yes.
Ah non, je les ai pas avec moi, mais de toute façon, à la station de Grand B, on peut avoir tous les détails. Alors,
Non, mademoiselle, c'est pas possible de continuer comme ça. C'est dommage d'ailleurs que l'opposition ne soit pas là, parce qu'à chaque fois, on me dit que je regarde juste un seul côté. Moi, j'ai été ombudsperson pendant 12 ans. Vous allez vous référer à mes rapports, j'en ai parlé de tout ça. Donc dites-nous, vous avez dit à propos de cette dame, c'est probablement vrai, mais vous devez, comme on a dit pour les membres de l'opposition, de la même manière, vous devez nous produire ce que vous avez dit là. Vous devez nous produire ça. On ne peut pas faire comme il y avait la fameuse question de M. Quirin, je me souviens, ce qui avait enflammé la Chambre. On ne peut pas, parce que chaque semaine, moi aussi, je vois comment les choses se passent. C'est un sujet qui ne vous tient pas seulement à cœur, ça me tient aussi à cœur. Allez-y, donnez-nous vos documents.
Alors, mes documents, la ministre a dit que c'est suite à 2 visites qu'elle a effectuées en octobre et novembre, j'ai les dates aussi. Septembre, voilà, exactement.
Je voudrais go on a point of order if the member will sit down. She cannot now reply to the minister without telling us if she cannot today produce the evidence. Okay, but take a pledge to produce it as soon as possible.
Yes,
do that. Alors, pour répondre au point of order du
Deputy Prime Minister, ça va marcher là. Ça marche.
Oui, oui. Alors, pour
touchez pas.
répondre, oui, je vais déposer les informations demandées. Il n'y a pas de souci à ce
D'accord.
sujet. Je vais déposer à la librairie de l'Assemblée nationale. Je tiens toutefois à dire que malgré le changement de direction, moi, j'ai des photos que je tiens à déposer.
Est-ce que ces photos sont authentifiées?
Non, qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire
Ah
par
ben,
authentifié?
c'est
des
exactement
photos
ce que
de
j'ai
la
fait
cour, madame.
Avec l'opposition. J'ai fait la même... Mademoiselle, j'ai fait la même chose avec l'opposition. Soit vos photos sont authentiques, soit... Comment la ministre peut savoir? Et ne venez surtout pas m'accuser. Maintenant, non seulement on m'accuse de voir que le gouvernement, mais on m'accuse aussi de voir qu'un parti politique. Ça, je n'accepte pas, hein. Je n'accepte pas. Vous êtes venu me dire, j'ai entendu tout ça, je suis fatiguée d'entendre ce genre de truc. Moi, je ne joue pas à ce jeu-là. Donc, si vous faites comme pour l'opposition. Same rules for everybody.
Madam Speaker, if I may,
Vous allez vous aussi vous mettre de la partie?
Not at all. I'm just only trying
Be
to help.
careful, be careful.
What I'm trying to do is help the process.
Ah, well.
What I'm saying is that what you're saying is totally true, unless she took the photograph herself.
Okay.
Les photos, voilà, moi-même. Et donc, je voudrais... Les photos ont été prises le 4 décembre 2025. 2 photos de la cour, hein, parce que, bien sûr, je n'ai pas accès à l'intérieur, et que je voudrais déposer à l'Assemblée.
Je pense que la ministre a dit...
She's saying that she took the pictures herself.
Yes, she said.
This must be substantiated.
No, we have to believe her that she took the pictures herself. But laissez-moi voir les photos. Quelqu'un m'emmène les photos, s'il vous plaît? On ne sait pas vous ne savez pas, vous êtes en train d'ouvrir la porte de ces âmes-là, hein? Faites bien attention. Alors, est-ce que Madame la ministre, autant que je me souvienne, vous passez ça à la ministre? C'est dégueulasse, bien sûr. Passez ça à la ministre. Est-ce que vous avez vu tout ça? Vous avez visité là-bas, Madame la ministre? On fait un procès, là, hein? On n'est pas dans une situation de questions-réponses, là. On est en train de faire un procès, Monsieur le Premier ministre. Un Premier ministre? Mais voilà! Mais je lui montre. Je lui montre. Il faut savoir ce que vous voulez dans la vie, hein. Vous voulez sauver les vies des enfants ou bien vous voulez faire un procès? Ça ressemble à ce que vous avez vu, Madame la ministre?
Oui, exactement. Ça ressemble à ce que j'avais vu lors de ma visite, la première visite, c'est-à-dire le 30 septembre. Mais depuis, ça a changé.
D'accord. Très bien.
Again, on the same point, we would have been satisfied if the honourable member had said, these are the pictures which I've taken myself on a given date. We would have accepted a word.
It's all right. It's all right. Now we've sorted it out. Oui, mais n'oubliez pas que vous nous devez un document qui vient du rapport de l'ombudsperson de je ne sais pas quelle année.
Alors, ma deuxième supplémentaire, je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. La ministre est-elle au courant que vendredi après-midi dernier, le chairman de la NCC, c'est-à-dire de la National Children's Council, s'est rendu dans cette garderie pour une réunion avec le personnel, au cours de laquelle il a déclaré que si des informations concernant la garderie venaient à circuler, la ministre elle-même viendrait vérifier les téléphones du personnel. La ministre va-t-elle... la ministre va-t-elle ordonner... Mais c'est quelqu'un qui l'a dit dans la réunion. C'est le président qui l'a dit dans la réunion. La ministre...
Excusez-moi. Je ne sais pas, je n'arrive plus à suivre et à comprendre ce que nous faisons dans cette chambre. Vous êtes en train de faire... Vous étiez là-bas, vous étiez au courant? Vous étiez au courant? Madame la ministre, vous restez tranquille, s'il vous plaît. Vous étiez au courant de ce qui s'est passé dans cette réunion? Moi, je ne porte pas du tout le National Children's Council dans mon cœur, hein. Mais vous étiez présent? Ah! Vous êtes au courant de ce qui s'est passé? Comment êtes-vous au courant?
Il m'a été rapporté.
Non. Hearsay evidence. Hearsay evidence. We are not going to have this. No hearsay evidence. C'est pas possible, ça. Tout dépend. Je vais vous donner un conseil d'ami, de maman. Tout dépend de ce qui est vraiment votre objectif en posant cette question. Là, on n'a pas d'opposition, là. Hein. Vous êtes dans un même gouvernement. Ça dépend de votre objectif. Moi, je vois un petit peu aussi, là. Hein. Personne n'est dupe, là. Personne n'est dupe.
Alors, mon objectif, madame, puisque vous me posez la question, c'est connu de tout le monde que j'ai un objectif clair et net. C'est la protection des femmes et des enfants. Que je sois un membre de l'opposition ou du gouvernement, ma ligne de conduite, elle reste la même. C'est un combat pour la justice et je suis encore plus sensible puisque cette galerie à la résidence Florida, à Baie du Tombeau, ce sont des enfants issus de familles vulnérables.
Statement, you're giving me a statement.
Vous poser une question, madame. Je peux
Non,
poser
vous me répondez que c'est ça votre objectif.
Oui.
Allez-y. Vous pouvez avoir un supplémentaire.
Alors, je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. La ministre a dit dans sa réponse que les mesures de sécurité sont là, très bien. La ministre peut-elle indiquer à la Chambre si son ministère envisage l'installation de caméras de surveillance, puisqu'il n'y en a pas du tout dans la galerie, d'un système de fingerprint, ainsi que le rehaussement du mur entourant le bâtiment, demande qui avait été refusée sous l'Ancien Régime par nul autre que moi-même. Merci.
Madame la ministre, allez-y.
Je vais transmettre le message au National Children's Council Board.
Madame la ministre, faites bien attention. Vous êtes ministre et c'est toujours le National Children's Council. Regardez bien ce texte de loi, hein? Under the correction of the Attorney General. Regardez ce que c'est que le National Children's Council. Quel est son rôle?
Présidente, je connais parfaitement le rôle du National Children's Council. Comme j'ai expliqué la dernière fois, le National Children's Council a dû prendre certaines responsabilités vu qu'il n'y a pas d'autres organismes qui prennent cette responsabilité-là, c'est-à-dire la garderie et le shelter.
OK. Au moins, on est au courant de ça, mais il faudra peut-être penser plus loin. Next question. Alors, nous avons fini. Maintenant, je pense... Est-ce que c'était... Oui, mais du tombeau, c'était ça. The question 1224 has been withdrawn. Hein? Oui, ben je suis en train de dire là. 1225 maintenant. 1224 a été withdrawn. 1225, donc c'est toujours vous, Madame Octil.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. 1225.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank the honourable member for this question. I'm informed that the building for the new pre-primary block of Bechumadu Government School was fully completed and handed over to the Ministry of Education by the then Ministry of National Infrastructure.
Attendez, Monsieur le Ministre, le Chief Whip is not happy. Please sit down. Tell us. Tell us.
Juste pour vous dire que je n'en entends pas la réponse. Merci.
Oui, pourquoi vous n'entendez pas? Dites clairement. Où il y a du bruit. Dites-nous clairement. Dites-nous clairement. Vous avez peur de nous dire?
Non, j'ai pas peur.
Mais dites-moi clairement. Ça vient d'où le bruit? Hein? She doesn't know. Non, mais moi je sais. Allez-y, Monsieur le Ministre. Pas une mouche qui vole pendant que le ministre parle.
I take the answer again. I started. Yes. I wish to thank the honourable member for this question. I'm informed that the building of the new pre-primary block of Bechumadu Government School was fully completed, handed over to the Ministry of Education by the then Ministry of National Infrastructure and Community Development, now Ministry of National Infrastructure, on 23rd November 2021. However, it is regrettable to note that from 23rd November 2021 to November 2024, the previous government did not take the necessary steps to make this facility operational. My ministry is presently finalizing the outstanding internal arrangements required for the operationalization of the pre-primary block. These include the provision of furniture and school materials, the deployment of the required personnel, and the completion of all compliance checks for early childhood facilities in accordance with established standards. Madam Speaker, I will ensure that the new pre-primary block becomes operational as soon as possible once the remaining preparatory measures have been completed. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I heard you.
Just one,
Yes,
please.
question?
Just one.
Supplementary.
Yes, one supplementary. Thank you. Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Je remercie le ministre pour sa réponse. Et le ministre prévoit-il d'effectuer une visite des lieux très prochainement, compte tenu de l'imminence de la rentrée scolaire? Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
C'est avec plaisir que je vais le faire. Je demanderai à l'honorable député et les autres députés de la circonscription, s'ils veulent venir ensemble, c'est avec plaisir qu'on va le faire, pour s'assurer que très prochainement, on commence avec ce Pre-Primary School Unit dans Bechu, Madu Government School.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre. Yes, Honourable Second Member for Quartier Militaire, once more.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQ 1226, please.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Madam Speaker, I'm informed that the extent of agricultural land that has been issued with a land conversion permit for commercial and residential purposes over the period 2019 to 2024 is 1,568 hectares. I am tabling a list of all land conversion permits issued during that period. I wish to draw the attention of the House that over the past years, prime agricultural land has indeed been depleted from the land bank earmarked for agricultural activities. As a result, it has become a challenge for the agricultural sector to respond to the increasing demand for food production. My ministry has taken several measures to bring an equilibrium between infrastructural development and agricultural activities to ensure continuous food security, including the following. Since June 2025, no land conversion permit is being issued for commercial or residential purpose project on prime agricultural land. Such projects, unless it is a project of national interest, will instead be directed on BLN classified as marginal. This year, a land suitability map of Mauritius has been developed by the Mauritius Sugar Industry Research Institute, whereby land has been classified as having high, moderate, low, or marginal agricultural potential based on criteria such as topography of land, mechanization potential, and amount of rainfall. Based on this land suitability map 2025, landowners will now have visibility on the type of projects that may be undertaken on the land. In line with Part 3 of the Sugar Industry Efficiency Act, as subsequently amended, for all land conversion permits granted, applicants need to plow back within a period of 2 years at least 50% of the proceeds arising from the conversion into sugar production at field or factory level owing to diversification within the sugar sector. They need to fully compensate for loss in agricultural production by, of course, generating an equivalent amount of such production for at least one crop cycle of 8 years by putting under sugarcane cultivation other land belonging to the applicants. Alternatively, they need to implement projects relating to water and energy-saving irrigation projects. At the level of the ministry, since 2025, promoters converting agricultural land to agricultural purposes are required to provide an undertaking to carry out agricultural activities. They are requested to inform my ministry of the exact extent of land they will plow back and indicate the site where agricultural activities will be reinstated. They are required to work on the guidance of MCIA and Food and Agricultural Research and Extension Institute in elaborating agricultural activities to be undertaken. The monitoring and further evaluation of these activities are carried out by Mauritius Cane Industry Authority and FARE through regular site visits. FARE has carried out extensive consultation with farmers, suppliers, and other stakeholders so as to develop a precision farming grant scheme to support innovative farmers in adopting advanced technologies that can increase productivity while ensuring long-term environmental and economic sustainability. Madam Speaker, other accompanying measures have been implemented to encourage planters to adopt smart agricultural practices than opting for traditional modes of farming, encouraging the farming community to shift to vertical farming, hydroponics, aeroponics, aquaponics, digitally controlled climate, the light, the temperature, the humidity, the carbon dioxide, for indoor crop production yield in 10 times more per unit area, and is also a water-efficient system. Presently, the financial incentives for a planter to shift from conventional to sheltered farming are: 1, grant of 500,000 rupees for construction of a greenhouse, and a planter can benefit the 500,000 rupees for a second time. The imported greenhouse is exempted from custom duty VAT when imported by a planter. 3, planters having a minimum 500 square meters under hydroponic cultivation benefit duty exemption on single and double cab vehicles. Madam Speaker, I wish to highlight that preserving our agricultural land is not merely an environmental obligation, but of strategic imperative for safeguarding national food security and ensuring the sustainable development of our country. The decision we take today, guided by prudence, scientific evidence, and long-term vision, will determine the resilience of our agricultural sector for generations to come. It is therefore essential that all stakeholders remain committed to protecting productive land, promoting judicious land use, and reinforcing the foundation of a self-reliant and sustainable Mauritius.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, Ms. Tanuyu.
Will the Minister kindly investigate traditional farming methods implemented by the Navdanya movement, by the Rural Women Assembly, methods that are low-tech and that ensure resilience for long-term and the protection of the land? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I thank the Honourable Doctor for putting the question. She can rest assured we are not going to depart from traditions, okay? But we are going to put the premium necessary to make sure that there is an outcome. Having said so, we cannot also forego our interest in relation to technology, which is where there's a constant breakthrough.
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
Madam Speaker, in the era of climate crisis, the only method that has proven to work is the method implemented by the Navdanya movement, without pesticides. Thank you.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, since our honourable friend is well versed, I would like to be enlightened, and I'm here to learn, and since we're all on the learning curve. Thank you very much.
So sweetly said, Minister. Maybe you should meet, both of you, huh? The same goes for all of you. Because questions are very interesting, but getting things done really is more interesting. Okay. Next question, Mr. Kazayan.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. PQB 1227, please.
Madam Speaker, with regard to part A of the question, the number of parking slots available for public at the main regional hospital is as follows: Jitu Hospital 8, Sasisagar Ramgula National Hospital 210, Black Hospital 158, Jawaharlal Nehru Hospital, Hosbel 137, Victoria Hospital 90, Bram Sekwa 76, Subramaniam Bharati 32, Long Mountain 50, Mayberg 54, Suyak 14, New Cancer Hospital 24, ENT 26. With regard to part B of the question, I am informed that there is a shortage of parking for the public. Measures taken are as follows. Region 1, Ajitu Hospital, arrangements are being made for some 25 additional parking slots to be available. Nevertheless, the public is being allowed to use vacant staff parking slots during visiting hours, that is from 6:30 in the morning, from 6:30 to 7 hours, and 15:30 to 17 hours. Region 2, Suivez Ramgulam Hospital, in addition to the existing parking, a new parking behind the catering unit is operational since June 2025, providing 40 parking slots, additional parking spots for the public. Additional 15 slots have been provided behind the ward, which serves as parking for the public and the nursing staff. Madam Speaker, a new parking area has been identified in the vicinity of the hospital. At Long Mountain Hospital, a new proposal for additional parking spaces is under preparation in collaboration with the Ministry of National Infrastructure. At Mayberg Hospital, due to the old structure of the hospital and spatial constraints thereat, provision cannot be made for additional parking spaces. Region 5 by Victoria Hospital, there is unfortunately no space in the premises for additional. Public is being allowed to use staff parking during visiting hours, that is from 6:30 to 7 in the morning and from 15:30 to 17 in the afternoon. At the National Cancer Center, measures have been taken for provision of some additional 40 parking for the public near the hospital. I'm informed that a plot of land to an extent of 1,266.26 square meters has been acquired by the Ministry of Housing and Lands and has been vested in my ministry for use as a parking area for the National Cancer Center. The project is in the pipeline and financial clearance is being sought to start the project.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Mr. Kazian.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I request the Honourable Minister, we've got to G2 Hospital. The number he has mentioned that is 25. Is space already available, or he will have to seek for additional space for creation of additional slot parking?
Well, I'm informed that a plot is available where 25 additional parking slots can be made available. So I'll have to try to find out where is that plot. Okay.
Yes, Dr. Umia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I ask the Honourable Minister, in the light of the new eye hospital, Bharati Hospital, whether he would make arrangements to have a holding area for buses who are coming daily now to drop patients and wait at times, causing quite a backlog on the exit route that exits from the runabout of Moka onto the motorway. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I'm aware of the problem. I need to get a plot of land for that purpose, and we're going to contact the Ministry of Housing so that they can help us in that work. I'm really aware of the problem that is being created every day in the morning and even in the evening.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, one last question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Could the Honourable Minister consider to have a multi-storey level parking at SSON Hospital, and even to get his ministry to inform the staff, the security guards who cater for public coming during visiting hours, to say what you have just said, that they are allowed during visiting hours in the hospital? Thank you.
I have already mentioned that some 40 additional parking slots are being prepared, 40 plus 15. And the Honourable Member is fully aware that in the years to come, you're going to have a new brand hospital at Suivez, that hospital.
Thank you. Now time is up. The table has been advised that B 1234, 1236, 1231 have been withdrawn. Thank you very much, everyone. I can't hear.
Motion.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10.
Yes, the question is that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provision of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. I don't have many ayes, but still.
Statement by Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, I wish to make a statement on the issue of payment of bad weather allowance to registered fishermen. I'm informed that registered artisanal fishermen in Mauritius are entitled to payment of bad weather allowance of 800 rupees per day. As at date, there are 2,546 registered artisanal fishermen, and an amount of around 40 million is disbursed on a monthly basis as bad weather allowance. With a view to ascertaining the genuineness of registered fishermen, my ministry has submitted the list of 2,546 fishermen to the Mauritius Revenue Authority and the Central Business Registration Department. These institutions have been requested to confirm the number of fishermen who are involved in other economic activities. Section 122E of the Fisheries Act provides that the supervising officer of my ministry shall deregister a fisherman when it has been proved that he is involved in gainful employment. Madam Speaker, let me clearly state to the House, payment of bad weather allowance will be effected to compliant registered fishermen, including those holding a fish-related business registration number. Thank you.
Thank you.
Public bills, first reading.
Yes, Honourable Attorney General.
I move that the Law Reform Commission Bill be read a first time, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Yes, it must be seconded. Seconded. Yes, seconded by Honourable Minister of Housing. Yes, second reading now. Yes, Minister.
Yes.
Take a deep breath.
Yes. Madam Speaker, I move that the Road Traffic Amendment Bill be read a second time. The bill, Madam Speaker, relates to a very fundamental matter, that is the preservation of human life and reduction of family sufferings as a result of road casualties and fatalities. Every year, we publish road accidents, statistics of road accidents. We see the numbers and debate the trends for a while. But numbers, Madam Speaker, have a way of sanitizing tragedy. Behind every figure in those statistics, there is a grieving mother, a father who will not see his siblings grow up, a young professional whose potential and aspirations have been cut short, or even a family who has been plunged into poverty because the breadwinner was taken away by a reckless act on our roads. The number of serious injuries and fatalities on our roads have become a silent pandemic, to repeat the words used by Jean Todt, the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for Road Safety. Madam Speaker, you had introduced Mr. Todt to this House on Tuesday, 8 April this year, as the guest of the Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Chandra Ramgoolam, himself a great proponent of road safety, who announced during his speech on the budget exercise the reintroduction of the penalty point system in January 2026. So here we are with the presentation of this bill less than 5 months later, with a penalty point system which is different from the first version of 2013 in terms of the broader spectrum of offences it covers, the use of technology, the innovative redemption of point facility, several amendments to other sections of the Road Traffic Act, and many others, with, however, the overarching objective remaining the same, that is, change the psychology of driving, a simple universal principle. Driving is a privilege and not a right. If you abuse of that privilege, you will lose it. I see on the list of orators today that the leader of the opposition will intervene on this bill, and I can sense it, amongst others, that he will surely put forth the argument that there has not been consultation thereon. Maybe. Madam Speaker, I have personally communicated...
Don't preempt what he is going to say. Give him a chance.
During the PNQ, he had mentioned about it.
Don't
I have
say.
personally communicated and provided a lot of explanatory information on the bill outside the House, in the press, and so have many of my honourable colleagues, to whom I'm thankful. The bill has come for second reading today after 12 days from the date it was published on the website of the National Assembly, that is on Friday, 28 November 2025. So ample time was given, during which I had even invited one and all to make their views known either by writing to my ministry or to let their views be heard in this House through their elected representatives. During the period 10 March 2013 to 27 July 2015, the penalty point system brought about evidence-based results, as the number of fatalities on the road had dropped by 13 to 137. There were indeed 108 fatalities in 2010, 152 in 2011, and 156 in 2012. The provisions relating to the CRTO, meaning the Cumulative Road Traffic Offence, in short CRTO, were amended a first time in 2018 and again a second time in 2023 to reduce the number of offences leading to disqualification of a driver's license from an initial 6 offences to 5 offences in 2018 and subsequently to 4 offences in 2023 because the CRTO was not giving the desired results. Still, because the CRTO was not performing, it was amended again in 2024, so to speak, for the third time, to enlarge the spectrum of offences from 11 to 23. This was supposedly, again, so to speak, to catch more traffic offenders and disqualify them upon committing 4 offences within a shorter period of time. But then, as the 2024 elections were imminent, the amendment to extend the total spectrum of offences from 11 to 23 was not proclaimed. And again, for a second time, 10 years down the line in 2024, after a first time in 2015, cheap politics took precedence over road safety in Mauritius. So I let the Honourable Leader of Opposition to draw his own conclusion. He who had questioned me during private notice question on Friday, 7 February 2025, has asked me to state the measures being taken to address the increasing number of road accidents. Today, I'm standing in this House with a sense of responsibility as Minister under whose remit for the subject of road safety, and we have come forward with a concrete piece of legislation to replace the non-performing CRTO left behind by the MSM government, and like I said earlier, still prevalent today. We have taken on board nitty-gritty of the specific concerns of the Leader of Opposition raised during that PNQ, and I'm here referring to the problem, for example, of illegal rally of motorcycles. He was quite elaborate on this question. It's a very pertinent question. I must stress that this offence is included in the 3rd schedule of the bill, and it justly carries the highest number of points, that is 8 to 10 out of a total of 15 points. But then, Madam Speaker, the legislation will not bring the desired results without an effective enforcement by the police and other authorized officers. Allow me now to respond to criticism leveled against the bill. Some have qualified the reintroduction of the penalty point system as a punitive measure that also seeks to replenish the coffers of government with payment of more fines. I beg to differ. Under the CRTO, a driver's license could be disqualified as he has committed only 4 offences. The proposed bill provides for a disqualification when 15 points have been exceeded, meaning that the person can no longer drive on reaching 16 points. Someone committing offences carrying 2 points, for example, will be only disqualified after committing such offences 8 times repeatedly over 36 months, because you get 15 points for 36 months. As regards the nonsensical criticism of bringing more money to the coffers, I have to emphasize that none of the offences listed in the schedule to the bill under penalty points have had their accompanying fines increased. So that argument doesn't hold water. The aim is not to generate revenue through fines, but to restore discipline on our roads, and to those who still persist and commit mistakes in a repetitive manner, to learn it the hard way, to have them removed from driving or riding on our roads until they have decided to improve their behaviors. The provisions laid down in the bill are corrective rather than punitive in approach. The figures demonstrate them all. Between 2013 and 2015, when the penalty point system was prevalent, 9 persons only were disqualified from holding a license. Yet, the number of fatalities had dropped by 13%. While between 2015 to date, under the CRTO, 249 drivers have been disqualified and 2 licenses have been cancelled. So let all drivers, in particular professional drivers, take note of this fact before drawing hasty conclusions or allowing themselves to be misguided. Madam Speaker, the penalty point system has the critical fear factor, which is non-existent in the CRTO. The genius of the system is that the points allocated to any driver is constant and visible to him, that any further offense will bring him closer to disqualification or cancellation of his license. The possibility for him to lose the tremendous privilege of driving following a disqualification is the strongest psychological effect prompting a driving behavioral change in him. By the way, a distinction has to be made between disqualification and cancellation. In the latter case, the driver or rider has to take the test all over again. Madam Speaker, the reintroduction of the penalty point system is not a trial and error experiment that we are now resorting to, like the previous government was doing with the CRTO. I had explained earlier the several changes that occurred over the last 10 years. The bill is the product of a collective and profound reflection designed to meet an urgent national concern. It is a proven system adopted by several developed countries. Its reintroduction aligns our country with proven international best practices. Wherever the penalty point system has been in operation, it has shown significant and immediate positive impacts on road safety. I am optimistic for the same results in our country. The Honourable Attorney General, whom I'm very thankful to, has qualified this bill as being technical one rather than a philosophical one. Allow me, therefore, without any further ado, to delve into the technical clauses of the bill. Clause 4 introduces a crucial instrument of accountability, which is the penalty point certificate. This certificate serves as a record of a driver's accumulated penalty points, and in line with our commitment to digital governance, this record will be accessible to every driver via a secure digital platform, that is the MoCloud. This ease of accessibility allows drivers to monitor their points, which in turn serves as a deterrent to irresponsible driving behavior. Clause 4 also defines the permitted maximum number of 15 points during a period of 36 months. For professional driving license holders, commonly known as learners, the maximum limit is set at 10 points. The objective is to include in them safe, responsible and disciplined driving habits from the very start of their driving practice. For competent driving license holders and holders of international driving permits, the permitted maximum number of points is 15, again over 36 months. A driver who has reached 16 points shall, upon application from the licensing officer, that is the police, be disqualified by the court for such period of time as the court shall determine. Clause 5 relates to an existing power of the court to disqualify a person from holding a driving license. The amendment being brought sets the maximum delay within which the court should forward any license which has been surrendered to it subsequent to the disqualification of the license holder to the licensing officer. The maximum delay has been set at 30 days. Madam Speaker, questions have been raised as to why the present bill does not cater for allocation of penalty points relating to driver under the influence of alcohol, drug or other intoxicating substance, and dangerous driving. I have to reassure the House that the Road Traffic Act already provides for harsher sanctions spanning from cancellation of license, imprisonment of up to 8 years for second-time offenders, and with fines which have been doubled in this present bill to 500,000 rupees. So for second-time offenders. But then I invite my members to read clauses 6 and 7 of the present bill together with the second schedule of the Road Traffic Act. In the interest of time, Madam Speaker, if needed, I can table information in relation thereto, because if I talk about it, it's going to be too lengthy. I wish to undertake, if needed, I can table it.
No, yes, table it, please.
Yeah, it's here. Eh? I'll give it later. I wish to underline that any disqualification may be from either holding a license or obtaining a license. The latter is prevalent to the question raised. The licensing officer then keeps a record which will prevent the disqualified person from applying for a provisional license for such period as the court has determined. So it's not true to say that there will be not any effect to a person holding a license at the material time of the accident, because many people have said that people who have no licenses will not be penalized because they don't have license. But then they will be barred from applying for a license between a period of ranging from 12 months to 24 months if they are caught, because the police will keep a record on this. Clause 8 of the bill sets out the process for allocation of penalty points and also the period of effectiveness of any penalty point allocated. In all circumstances, penalty points are allocated by the court in addition to any other sentence, including monetary, custodial, which it deems fit to pass. While allocating penalty points, the court may, where appropriate, where the license holder has exceeded the minimum number of points, disqualify the person from holding or obtaining a license, or even cancel the license as the case may be. In the bill, appeal procedures have been provided against the determination of a court for either allocating a number of points or disqualifying a person from holding or obtaining a license, or even against the cancellation of the license. Where there is an appeal, any determination of or decision of the court is suspended pending the outcome of the appeal. As regards the effectiveness of penalty points, every point allocated shall remain effective for a period of 36 months until it has been taken into account for the purpose of a disqualification order. Through a collaborative mechanism set out between the court and the licensing officer, accumulated points will be managed efficiently and accurately. There seems to be a misunderstanding on this issue among the public as gathered from interventions made in the media. The law is very clear. Only points which have been allocated and have matured, or let us say, as Chinese call it, ripe, so to speak, for a period of 16 months, will be erased automatically. The others will still appear on the penalty point certificate until their terms for 36 months have come. Clause 8 also allows any license holder to apply for and obtain a hard copy of the penalty point certificate in this respect from the licensing officer on payment of a prescribed fee. Over and above his status, he can obtain a free of charge free of charge anytime on MoCloud. Clause 9 inserts a new section, that is section 123H in the main act. This section sets out in details the period for which the court shall disqualify a person from holding or obtaining a driving license where that person has exceeded the permitted number of penalty points. In a nutshell, the court shall disqualify for a period of not less than 6 months, no more than 12 months, holders of all types of licenses, be it local or international. Questions have also been raised as to how the bill will cater for those driving without holding a driving license. Clause 9 provides a more severe sanction for any person without holding a driving license. His qualification, like I said earlier, will be for a period of 12 months, over and above what other legislations cater for. This clause also provides that any person who has been disqualified shall surrender his license or permit to the court as soon as possible, but not later than 5 days of any court order made in that respect for retention. This process sends a strong message of deterrence to repeated offenders. It enforces the seriousness and awareness of the loss of privilege of driving. Clause 9 also provides that the court shall order for every person whose license is disqualified for any period of time to follow a rehabilitation course which shall be approved by the licensing officer, that is the police, before the license is restored to him. By virtue of the same section of the law, a person who is a licensed driving instructor will have to surrender his driving instructor's license, as well as for retention or in the event that his driving license is disqualified. Clause 10 focuses on the possibility of redemption of points, and this is a novelty as compared to the last version of the penalty point system. The holder of a driving license or international driving permit who has accumulated at least 10 points, but not more than 14 points, may apply to the court for the reduction of a maximum of 3 points. An application form has been prescribed for that purpose. The person has to complete a rehabilitation course before applying for reduction of points. It needs to be explained that the reduction of a maximum of 3 penalty points shall relate to the last offense, implying that if a person was allocated only 2 points for his last offense, only 2 points will be redeemed. If 4 points or more were allocated for the last offense, only 3 points will be redeemed. The holder of a license who applies for the reduction of points may do so subsequently only after 36 months. I think this is an important point to be retained. The holder of a professional driving license cannot apply for any reduction of points, meaning learners. Madam Speaker, the possibility for reduction of points is fundamental as it establishes a clear pathway for drivers to reduce their penalty points through an educational intervention and reduces the possible risk of disqualification. The contents of the course shall be defined by the licensing officer. This clause underscores the fact that this government's commitment to road safety is not at all about taking away licenses maliciously, as some are pretending. It is verily about educating drivers, rewarding corrective driving behavior, and ultimately reducing the number of road accidents on our roads. Clause 11 and 12 are not of significance to the penalty point system. The first one increases the maximum fine for offences committed under the requirements of the Road Traffic Act from 100,000 to 200,000 rupees, and the second one deals with the renumbering of schedules attached to the Act. Clause 13 establishes the procedure for determining the number of penalty points to be referenced on a fixed penalty notice. Where only one offence is detected on the FPN, the notice shall mention the lowest number of penalty points specified in that range of points for that offence. Where more than one offence is set on a single FPN, the lowest penalty points in the offence carrying the largest range of points shall be inserted in that notice. Where there are 2 or more offences within the same range of penalty points, the FPN shall make reference to the lower number of points of any of the offences. Clause 14 of the bill establishes the payment process with regard to fixed penalty notices and the manner in which the district court shall endorse the notice with the appropriate penalty points and communicate same to the licensing officer. Clause 15 relates to instances where a person does not pay the fixed penalty and the case eventually goes to the court for determination. It also provides that where a person is convicted, the court shall allocate the highest number of penalty points for that offence. Where there is more than one offence in the notice, the court shall allocate the highest number of points in respect of the offence, carrying the highest range of penalty points. So, depending on whether you go to the court, you will get the lowest lows of points or highest highs of points in case you lose at the court. Clause 16 and 17 deal with speeding offences detected by means of a photographic enforcement device for which the police poses a notice, in short PEDN, to be served on the owner of a vehicle used in commission of the offence. The same principle of allocation of penalty points is applied in the case of PEDN as that applied for fixed penalty notices. The PEDN has only one offence recorded therein, and the lowest number of penalty points is referenced in the notice where served on the offender. However, in the event the penalty is not paid and the matter is referred to the court shall allocate the highest number of points for that offence. Madam Speaker, questions have been raised in several quarters as to why a range of points have been provided for each offence instead of fixed number of points. This approach gives licence holders a choice to admit outright the commission of the offence and thus pay the minimum penalty to be allocated to the lowest number of penalty points. For those who decide to refer the matter to the court and are found guilty, the law provides for a maximum fine and highest number of penalty points to be inflicted. It is noteworthy that the penalty point system of 2013 also had a range of points, and its application did not pose any administrative or legal problem. Clause 18 to 23 cover mainly the repeal and replacement of schedules. Clause 24 of the bill addresses transitional arrangements. Specifically, it makes provision detailing how disqualifications imposed under the repeal section of the law dealing with the CRTO will be legally dealt with during the transition to the new provision set out in the bill. Madam Speaker, the bill is not a copy-paste document of the previous 2013 legislation. It cannot be compared to the times and times amended legislation which constitute the CRTO. This bill is an improved and comprehensive piece of legislation which is designed to cope with our present road safety challenges and respond as much as possible to the call of the hour in terms of road safety. The new schedule of offences comprises 33 traffic offences as compared to 19 under the 2013 legislation, covering various aspects of road safety. This expansion in the number of offences is critical as it plugs in several loopholes and addresses dangerous driving behaviours which were previously dealt with only by fines, a course of enforcement which lacked deterrence for repeated offenders. All the offences listed in the schedule prioritize factors identified in road crashes data, namely in 4 categories, which is speed, for example, driving at excessive speed, distraction, for example, the use of mobile phone whilst driving, restraint, for example, the non-use of seat belts and failure to use child restraints, recklessness, for example, dangerous driving, overtaking over continuous white line, and failing to comply with traffic signals. The thresholds and values in this bill have been specifically calibrated to align with evidence-based standards used in the most successful jurisdictions. The range of penalty points are in no way arbitrary. They are correlated with the frequency and severity of an offence, contribution to fatal and serious crashes. Madam Speaker, one key aspect of the modernisation of the penalty point system is the penalty point certificate. There will not be any driving licence counterpart as there was in the first penalty point system of 2023. The digital e-counterpart, which will incorporate sophisticated QR code for security and authenticity purposes. To ensure the accurate and real-time management of the penalty point system, a comprehensive IT enhancement program integration will be undertaken across the following key government entities for a seamless interoperability among each of these platforms and to securely link these 3 systems principally. Number 1, the revenue collection and case management system of the judiciary. Number 2, the integrated driving license management of the police. Number 3, the National Land Transport Authority IT system. Madam Speaker, countries like Singapore and the UK, which have a penalty point system in operation since decades, boast of fatality rates per 100,000 population of 1.9 per 100,000 and 4.7 respectively. The rates of fatalities reflect the high level of discipline and good drivers' behaviour achieved through strict application of the traffic laws and effective enforcement. In the case of our country, our fatality rate is 10 to 11 per 100,000, which is 5 times to 6 times more than Singapore population and has remained constant for a decade. We need to benchmark ourselves with countries which have been successful and try our best through all possible means to lower our fatality rate. This is the ambition of this government and one of the priority objectives of my ministry, and I sincerely hope that we succeed. To conclude, Madam Speaker, the legislation we are passing today will determine the road safety of our citizens for tomorrow. I'm optimistic that it will contribute to save lives and consequently reduce the suffering of many families. I reiterate that the philosophy of the bill is for safe driving to be inculcated and duly rewarded, and for recklessness to be addressed with utmost severity and swift consequences. It is also an opportunity to bring our legal framework on road safety at par with international norms while emphasizing discipline and responsible driving. For all good intents behind the reintroduction of the penalty point system, I'm convinced that honourable members in this House will uphold this bill. Let this Assembly be remembered as the one which finally took the bold and decisive step to curb carnage on our roads. Let us together give our citizens the safety they deserve while using our roads. It is my sincere duty to acknowledge the dedication of all those who have been involved in the preparation of this significant piece of legislation. I wish to extend my deepest appreciation and thanks to the officers of the Prime Minister's Office, the Attorney General's Office, Police Department, the NLTA, the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit, and the staff of my ministry, who formed part of the committee I chaired on the subject matter. Their diligent efforts, collaborative spirit, and expert advice have been instrumental in meticulously drafting and refining this critical bill. Above all, I would like to thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his firm and unwavering support enabling the introduction of this bill. The Deputy Prime Minister as well. This morning he actually called me for more details. I'm thankful to the Attorney General for always lending a helping hand and invaluable advice whenever required. And I look forward to working with the Honourable Minister of ICT as regards the digitalization aspect, which remains a sine qua non for the successful implementation of this legislation. By passing this bill, Madam Speaker, we are not merely imposing new rules, we are laying the essential foundation for a long-term vision, a disciplined road network and a nation where road trauma is significantly reduced. On this note, Madam Speaker, and with these remarks, I commend the bill to the House.
It's seconded by the Minister of Agriculture. Thank you. Maybe we can raise for tea? Yes? Thank you very much.